everybody, welcome to Thursday Night Throwdown, a weekly session of 4th edition Dungeons & Dragons that we broadcast on twitch.tv. It's set in the gothic horror world of Norian and focuses around 4 players as they try and stave off the darkness that is growing around them. Now, this is my first foray into video episodes, so it's going to be a little choppy, and I have also noticed that in this episode, or at least this session, we had some little glitches with the scenes changing as some of my hotkeys were set up incorrectly, but that was fixed. I mean, it was my first time broadcasting, so I was still kind of new, so I've hammered out all those little glitches and changes where it says that we're back, but yet we're still talking. Luckily, in this episode, there really is nothing that is missed because of it not showing the tabletop of Roll20. We really didn't get into any combat or anything like that, so it's not missing. It's kind of audio for the most part. But with that, I hope everyone enjoys.
Lives or did?
The man seems to kind of like reach up and scratch at his neck and says, I do, I just don't know if I should. And he's interrupted by a voice that says, "It's all right, I will deal with this man." And should you turn around to see the source of this, source of the voice, you will find yourself looking at this very thin, old man, like at least in his 60s. And he approaches you and says, "I am Duncan Lorendav, Mayor of Maplecrest. How may I help you?"
It seems you've been eavesdropping anyway, so maybe you can just answer my question.
He chuckles at this and says, I see you're one to get right to the point. I could, in fact, show you to Lyndon's house. However, you must forgive me for not taking a stranger at his word. Do you have some proof that you are Lyndon's friend?
Do you have some proof that you're the mayor? You're a stranger to me just as I am to you.
He chuckles at this and says, "Well, you could easily ask any one of the citizens of Maplecrest and they can confirm my story."
Well, I don't appear to have that advantage. As such, I will produce the letter that I will have no doubt brought with me that I had received from Lyndon.
And then you just kind of show it to him?
Yeah, I'm not just going to stand there holding it.
Yeah, no, that's what I meant. Like, you just give it to him or whatnot. He takes the letter from you and quickly scans it and then hands it back and says, "You have to forgive me. As you no doubt know from this letter, a darkness has befallen our quaint little village, and we have all become rather wary of newcomers." He kind of motions with his hand for you to follow him as he starts to walk down this path or road, and says that if Lyndon has sent for you for aid, he obviously must trust you in this matter, as we have tried to be as discreet about it as possible. As you can imagine, it does not look too well for a village to lose its children. How is it that you knew Lyndon?
We knew each other back in the war.
He just kind of nods and says, yes, I figured as much. If there is anything that you can do to aid us, we would be deeply in your debt. We have exhausted all of our research and all of our potential leads on this matter. It seems as if the very wind itself has come in each day to snatch up one of our children. Some days more than one. And as you guys continue to walk, and he's walking at a little bit of a slower pace, though you can tell he's not doing it like due to his age. It's more of he is just taking his time to kind of like talk to you. And if you have any questions, I mean, we can go ahead and answer them.
Well, might as well get the opportunity to do so. How long has this been going on? Missing children?
About a month now. And I forgot to mention this at the beginning, but it is the 13th day of Bala, which is the last month of autumn.
Oh shit! I need to start doing my Christmas shopping.
You better get something for me.
Well, we kind of just met. At this point, we're just kind of more business associates, so I might get you, like, a bottle of wine with, like, a note that says good work.
Or like one of those commemorative pens.
Nah, maybe not like a pen, more like a pin, something you can put on your jacket or your nice... something that associates you with the Von Hasselhoff brand.
Well, fear not, you still have over 2 months to do your Christmas shopping. Or in this world, it's called the Gifting Day, which is on the 25th of Manamana, which is 2 months away. It goes Bala, Ryland, and then Manamana.
Does that mean tomorrow's Black Friday?
No. I was just thinking that.
And that is what it was taken from. But we'll continue on with Reese. But yeah, he tells you just over a month now.
Okay, and how many kids have gone missing in this time?
It seems at this point that he really kind of his demeanor is rather sour, or at least cold, and he says, as of last night, we have lost 26 children.
And I have been informed, obviously, that my friend has gone missing as well. Have your people been able to discern why? Has he gone searching for his own children, perhaps, since your forces seem incapable?
Yes, him and his wife had mentioned that they were going out to find their son, Leonard. And they disappeared, as some other men and women have, while searching for their children. It is uncertain whether or not that they have just gone missing due to some other force, or perhaps they just have not returned due to having not found their children. The Maplecrest Forest is quite large, and even on your way here to Maplecrest, I mean, like, the Maplecrest Forest is rather known throughout Threnwick because it produces some of the best syrup in the land, but it also because these trees are huge. Like, their leaves are bigger than, like, most men's head. So, like, they produce, like, these are like hundreds of feet high, like almost
giant maples.
Yeah, like not redwood size, but I mean like giant maples. And he says it is quite possible for them to have gone missing in the forest, or merely to continue their searching. I do not know how long he or his wife had planned to be searching, but I can only imagine the pain and sorrow that must be consuming their souls.
I've been told most people care about their children.
Some more
Do
than
you
real
have
life.
Do you have any additional information that, like, have your men found any additional leads? An area, a plausible suspect, anything?
No, there have been no leads whatsoever. As I said, it is as if the very wind itself has snatched the children away.
The last time I checked, wind didn't steal children, but... Do you know what Lyndon did when he returned here from the war?
Yes, he worked from home as a carpenter.
As I expected.
You know, Mike, it might be Jesus. He may disappear for like 12 years and then make a glorious return.
Maybe.
But I mean, eventually you're walking, comes to, like, Duncan, like, slows down, and he kind of points towards the house and says, "That is Lyndon's house." And it's just the way you pictured it would be, as Lyndon had often spoke of his home during the downtime on missions. Made from logs, the roof seemed to be a combination of wood with sod thrown over top to increase the waterproofing technique. And it has, a couple of windows, a rather sturdy-looking door, and you can just see, just from the outside, while it is rather simplistic looking, it definitely seems like it has had some work done to it, like, artistically speaking. Like, he's carved simple images, like, very, very nice craftsmanship, even though it is, like, a simplistic looking house.
Right. Cat knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, as he, I guess, brings us here, I'll just say to him, inform your people that I will be staying here for the near future, so not to be alarmed by a strange man staying in the house. I wouldn't want them to get hurt.
No, I don't think that would be that big of a problem.
That being said, if you do happen to come across some useful information, please send somebody by to give it to me.
Yes, of course. And he starts to walk away, but as he gets like a couple steps, he turns back around to you and says, "Oh, I almost forgot. I am uncertain of whether or not the door will be locked, and I unfortunately do not have a key."
Just wave my hand dismissively.
He kind of like raises an eyebrow at that, but it's like one of those like probably best if I don't know situations. And he continues, and as he's walking around, he's walking away. He says, "If you do find anything, please come find me. I am the large 3-story house to the left of the marketplace. You can't miss it. On the map,
yeah, you're the settled place where no one knows, right?
On the map, it's number 3.
Okay,
and
cool.
You are like right here.
Okay.
So did you just get a free house?
Depends if Lyndon comes back.
Maybe we need to ensure that he doesn't come back.
He just happens to fall down a pit somehow.
Oops.
We recovered everyone except Lyndon, his wife, and his child.
Don't know what happened to them.
Well, I don't know. What's his wife look like?
But you are standing in front of this house. So what are you going to do?
Right. Given any previous information I know about Lyndon, how paranoid of a man was he? Like, how secure might his house be? I mean, I know it's a quaint little town, but I mean, the war will often make people a little bit more paranoid about stuff like that, security and whatnot.
That was a really weird thing about Lyndon is, for some of the missions that you did, he seemed to have like the completely wrong personality for them. Like normally in your line of work, you have to be a little paranoid or suspicious of people, and he seemed like to be the opposite of that. Like he was one of those guys that would like almost like believe what you told him without even like double checking or anything. Like, I can punch the moon, really? Like how did you do that kind of deal? So he definitely doesn't seem paranoid. He seems like the type of guy that in such a quaint little town, he probably has left his house unlocked.
Right. So I will just try to open the door then.
And it, in fact, does open. Just like that.
Quietly shake my head. I unlock locks just by looking at them.
Exactly. You're the best rogue and he's the worst rogue.
The inside of this house is just like the outside, very quaint, beautifully hand-carved furniture adorning it. Lyndon, of course, had mentioned that he was a carpenter by trade before he had been drafted, and there's air quotes on that, but obviously we can't see. And judging from the work that you see in this house, his hands have not lost any of their skill. Immediately in front of you is the kitchen, dining room, and parlor, all laid out in one open concept room. To the west is a hallway that continues, that you assume leads to the bedrooms. Aside from the normal house accoutrements, a small bookshelf sits next to the fireplace, completely empty. Strewn across the dining table are several books, some laying sprawled open.
Well, for a first pass, I'll just make sure there's nobody else in the house.
Okay, so you're just gonna walk through the house?
Basically, yeah. Do a walk through.
Okay.
Look behind shower curtains and in closets.
Well, you walk the front room that you're in is open concept, so you can just look around. Yeah, there's no one in here. You then walk down the hall, and it leads to two bedrooms, one bigger than the other. You can tell that one's a child's room and one's a bedroom. And then you also see almost like a small wash area. There's a tub. There's a couple of buckets, and it's built almost with this tubs on top of something that you can put firewood in and light a fire to get the water heated up. And there's a chimney that leads out. This seems like a quote unquote old school bathroom. But other than that, you are the only person in this house that you can see.
Good. All right. Is there anything, perhaps, again from the war or from previous times working with Lyndon, that some kind of method for relaying information to one another, messages, perhaps a secret hold that he might have, or that we might have used before, obviously not in his house, but something similar? I'm just thinking, if he sent the letter, he was expecting me to come, likely.
Mm-hmm.
And for them not to be here, if they left suddenly to go look their kids, then I'm thinking he might have left some kind of message behind to give any further information or instruction or, something.
Nothing's jumping out at you from your memory. You guys used such a variety of ways to relay messages that you really couldn't pick one that you guys might favor over the other. But you can always do a perception check to check the rooms.
It's probably going to be a lot of perception checks.
Well, you also got to remember, you do have your passive perception. Yours is, I believe, 18, from what I remember.
Damn.
17.
17, sorry. I have it as 18. Why do I have it as 18?
Don't know. We should have the same stuff, but mine's saying here 17.
Mine's saying that you have 18, because somehow you have a +2 to it. Oh, that's because I'm totally looking at the wrong character. Yeah, 17 it is. I'm glad I can read names. But yeah, so I mean, you do have a passive perception of 17, which means that without actively looking, like, you have a really good ability to see stuff. So you, like, unless something was super hidden, you're fairly certain like it would jump out.
And
at
given
you.
his personality, he's probably not going to take that much time to, make a secret cubby hole somewhere really obscure. All right. Given that, I will probably look to the papers and whatnot that have been, I would assume, taken off the bookshelf to see what it is they were last going through.
Yeah, it seems like he took all the books from his bookshelf and had kind of like sprawled them on the table. Some are open, some are closed. But if you want to give me a perception check, we can go from there.
Sure. 23.
Okay. You begin kind of like rifle through the books, and you come across one on horticulture. And even as you pick it up to move it around, like to look at the other ones, you notice that there's a separation in the pages. Like, just from like looking at the edges of the book, you see like there's something in the book causing the pages to have like a little bit of a gap in them.
All right. I guess I will investigate.
As you open up the book, and you can literally, like, it's almost like one where you just put it on its spine and it'll open up to this page. You notice that there is, or you discover, I should say, a dry, semi-crushed, 7-petaled black flower that has a red, almost like center.
Okay. Do I have any idea what it would be?
That would require a nature check.
That's where I'm a boss.
Really? Oh, well, I suppose you probably would have poisoned people
sarcasm.
during the war.
Sarcasm, actually.
Oh.
That's a 15.
15. Let me just double check that. Yeah, you... There's too many flowers that are coming to your mind for you to narrow them down.
You just can't stop thinking of flowers.
Okay, is there any information in the book, like the page where I found it? Is there any information there pertaining to, a similar flower leaf thing?
There does not seem to be on this page, but if you want, I mean, you can take some time to rifle through the book to see if it's in there.
I might as well. I mean, it seems to be the likely place for an answer. I mean, seems, I don't know, possibly pertinent anyway. It could just be their bloody wedding flower for all I know.
No, you can definitely tell that it is rather fresh. Like, it's too fresh to be like their wedding flower or something like that.
Okay.
However, after you spend about an hour or so just kind of going through this book, and while it does have many flowers in it, most of which are your common like roses and lilies and lilacs, and then like just common variations of flowers, the one that is in between the pages is not in it.
Okay, so obviously I'll need to go to someone who knows more about flowers than I, or that's in this book. Possibly. Is there anything else then on the table that would kind of make sense that they would be looking at? Maps or locations or, I don't know, books about missing children?
Mo- yes, there's a guide on how to kidnap children.
And a Hessian sack.
And that answers that. Case closed. Most of the other books are just on local history or like children's stories. And many of them have like the similar spine, with none of them, of course, being clearly labeled on the outside. It's not until like you open it up that you actually get to see like, oh, this book is the horticulture book, as opposed to, oh, this book's about the knight that beats the dragon and saves the maiden kind of deal.
Right.
But it just seems to be a mix of local history and like children's stories.
Okay. Any of the books? I thought you said there was a couple books that were already open.
Yep.
On the table. The pages that they're open to, do they have any interesting tidbits of information?
The pages themselves, no, but you do notice that all the books that are open are all on local history.
Okay.
But it seems like different points, like one book is just on the local history, just on like the maple crest trees themselves. One of the other books that is on like the history of the town when it was founded and whatnot.
Well, I guess I will spend some time and at least kind of thumb through the pages to try to catch anything related to, this kind of event happening in the past, perhaps. Something with children going missing, or maybe not even children, but people themselves.
Okay. While you do that, we're going to jump back to Thaddeus and Rhogar. So you guys wake up the next morning and shoo away any vixens that might have accompanied you to bed last night. And it's, not too long till you guys meet up and start your travels. Is there anything you guys want to take care of before you guys?
Well, does the von Hasselhoff tab include breakfast?
The Rusty Nail is just a tap house. It is not a inn.
Okay. Well, in that case, no, I'm ready to head off. Eat on the trail, I suppose.
It's okay. There's an inn down the way that has a free continental breakfast. We'll just walk in and act like we spent the night there. Well, I've done this before. It works all the time.
I say, if rations are an issue, I have enough food for the both of us.
No. You have to remember, you're traveling with von Hasselhoff. Resources are never an issue.
I have figured out ways to scam places.
The problem being Rhogar isn't really comfortable with that. I'll say, you can do as you wish, but I'll prefer to eat on the trailer.
I have rations of my own. It was merely a suggestion. I didn't know, They have really good fruit on Tuesday. But, are we, at this point, because I see Rob on the call and in Roll20.
Yes. As you guys start to leave town, you easily spot this large figure heading towards town. Jorik, you had received word from one Thaddeus Van Hasselhoff several days ago that he requested your presence so that he may talk to you about something. However, due to your busy schedule and the fact that you had somewhat of a distance to travel, you have just been getting to Dolkin as the new day had begun, and you are rather surprised when you see the very man that had sent you a letter walking towards you with a rather large dragonborn.
Okay, so I'll walk up to the dragonborn. for the group. Did you say I recognize their the emblem or anything? The von Hasselhoffs.
You know, everyone kind of knows what the Van Hasselhoffs looks like, so it's not even like you recognize their emblem. You're just like, oh, that's Thaddeus.
Okay, so I will go ahead, go up to him, and just kind of stop right in front and says, "Are you von Hasselhoff?"
Yes, you are in the presence of Thaddeus von Hasselhoff.
I'm York. You sent a message to me some time ago.
Sean, if you're talking, you cut out.
Hi, York.
What? Come again?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
I was saying that I don't remember what I said now. Something along the lines of, I'm a von Hasselhoff, you should be impressed, do you want to work for me?
But isn't that just generally everything you say can be boiled down to that?
Yes. It's basically...
Maybe not the will you work for me part, but...
Well, I can tell you right now, York is not very impressed with you. But he is perfectly fine with money, so he's glad they're willing to work.
Well, what about the children?
Well, of course the children. Money doesn't hurt either.
So you're
mostly the children.
You're taking the time to explain what the work is, because so far you're just like, hey, you want to work for me? You haven't given any indication as to what he would be doing.
Well, it kind of broke up before. I kind of tried to indicate that previously, but it didn't work out so much.
I assume that was in the jumbled part that kind of got cut out.
Yeah, it was just kind of in business jargon. But basically, go into town, figure out the missing children, 150 gold, 20% cut going to the church. And a future with the von Hasselhoff estate. All this could be yours, my friend.
York's fine with it. He's not really doing this for the money. The money's nice, but he's just trying to right some of the
You really
wrongs.
just want to work with Thaddeus. He's honored to be in the presence of a von Hasselhoff. I
Thaddeus might be the first one that he pushes into a pit, but we'll see.
So, you don't want to get the von Hasselhoff signature across your armor?
No, I was thinking more of just hanging a tassel on a horn or something.
We have a patch actually.
Okay.
Fly the family crest from his horns.
There you go.
Well,
But,
unless there's something that you wish to attend to immediately, we were about to set off for Maple Crest.
Why are we leaving from?
That we ran into you.
What is in Maple Crest?
Well, it's really more what was the Maple Crest, which is children. But apparently they are no longer there. So we're going to go figure out why.
Sounds as good a starting place as any.
Okay, now that Thaddeus is done talking to the giant minotaur, I'll step forward and extend my hand and introduce